Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tighten Up Tuesday here on Curtis's Podcast Network. I'm the host of the channel, Curtis Brown, so thank you for joining us. With us, as always, Blake Bellamy, our resident Titans fan on the channel. And today, we're going to be taking on an entire 7-round mock draft for the Tennessee Titans, and potentially maybe talking about a name or two, maybe three, that could fill the voids left from the draft in free agency, and then we're gonna call it a day at the end there. But we're at 332 subscribers, trying to hit 1,000. So please help us try to get there. We're trying to grow. We're trying to be in front of new Titans fans, and that helps a lot as well. We have a 10 like goal on this episode. That helps us get in front of more people. So smash that like button, folks. And the Jags have been nailing it basically every episode. So it's on you. It's on you to meet that call. But without any further ado, Blake, how you been?
Good, man. It's draft week. It's like Christmas, better.
Yeah.
Unless this last year when we got rid of AJ Brown for Treylon Burks, but most of the time I feel like it's like Christmas. Anything's possible in April.
It's true. It may have been a dark Christmas last year for you.
Yeah, it was sad. Got a lot of cold that year.
Yeah, lump of coal.
But no, overall, it was a good draft class. It was honestly J-Rob's best since like 2019 when they got Jeff Simmons and AJ recipes.
Yeah. Man. Well, we're going to try to do better than that in our mock draft this evening. All right, here we are.
All right.
The 2023 draft has officially begun.
Yep.
The Panthers take. Here it goes. Anthony Richardson at 7 to the Raiders.
Oh, Bijan Robinson to the Eagles. Oh.
Yeah, they traded up.
Okay, let's see. So, is there a best available? Is that what that is?
Yeah, this is the big board.
Scroll down a little bit. Oh, I can't pass up that one name right there. Don't click yet.
I'm not clicking it.
Yeah, I'm on the clock. So,
Paris Johnson, the big man out of Ohio State.
So Skorinski. Yes, Skorinski already got drafted. He's only, about 22 when the season starts. Could you go? Is there a way to look at wide receivers? Let's see what wide receivers are on the board. So Jackson Smith Najiba has been taken.
Here we go.
Okay, so let's look at wide receivers. Any of these wide receivers I'd rather have. Zay Flowers is intriguing. We scroll down a little bit more. Oh, okay. It's a little too deep for me to go wide receiver here. GM Bellamy's on the clock, and Paris Johnson, welcome to Tennessee. I can't pass him up. Darnell Wright is another one that I really would consider, especially if, even with those wide receivers on the board, I think I'm going to go with, an offensive line. I got to go Paris Johnson right here.
Paris Johnson out of Ohio State is the pick, and Houston behind them hits Nolan Smith. Interesting. Jordan Addison to the Lions.
Joey Porter Jr., okay.
Van Ness to the Jaguars.
25.
Dang,
Tyree Wilson dropped. Yeah, Great pick for Cincinnati Bengals, but wow. Josh Downs, that's a good pick there. Ryan Brees, I saw him as a dark horse, like top 12 guy.
Yeah.
Jamar Gibbs. Ooh, Jamar Gibbs and Kamara. That's a dirty backfield. Okay.
Okay, so I know you JMS sitting right here is very interesting.
I hate to double dip at offensive line, but that's the fact he fell right there.
Yeah.
My God. Ooh, I hate to go offensive line twice in a row. Ooh, that's
Hooker's still on the board.
Cody Mock. I've seen him a lot. Mock to Tennessee. That'd be good. I can't go 2 tackles in a row. Ooh, okay. I like
You adjust
I
the
like
hat for
Luke.
that one.
I like Luke Whippler there. He's another good one. BJ Ojolari, that's a pick I'd like a lot too. So there's a lot of and Cedric Tillman. Ringo, I've seen a lot of mixed things about Ringo at corner from
Yeah.
Georgia. I feel like he might fall a lot. Stay there real quick. Jack Campbell, that's another one. His tape has been looking really good.
He just looks like an old man. He
Yeah, he
looks,
looks like you're gonna draft him to coach your DB, like your DBs or something.
yeah. His
Um,
best game was against Ohio State.
which is a good sign.
That is a massive sign. Terrible, not great game against Kentucky though. Mid
Yeah,
against Purdue.
okay.
Great in run defense. His pass coverage grade is great.
Which is
Average
great.
depth of run tackle pretty solid. Looks like he's on the higher end when it comes to missed tackle rates. But it looks like he only missed one game compared to last year. That might have been just because no, they had a bowl game. Um, ra- rushed the passer 62 times last year. A lot of run defense and coverage snaps. 83 tackles, 40 assists, 12 missed tackles.
It's not terrible though.
75th, tied for 75th in run stops, 19th in 19, which ties him for 10th in coverage stops. He was targeted 42 times and allowed 39 receptions.
You're a linebacker though. I mean,
Yeah. Completion
you're
percentage.
a white linebacker.
Yeah. He had 2 interceptions in those targets and 1 forced incompletion. No touchdowns allowed. A 70.2 passer rating allowed. So I mean, not a bad prospect right here. How old is he?
I think 37.
He is 22 and a half. So
249. I mean, he's a senior citizen. That's for sure.
I mean,
Good prospect. I don't know if I don't see him coming to Tennessee. Tennessee does need a linebacker. I think we need a pass rusher a little bit more, even
Okay.
though there's really no middle linebackers. It's hard for me to pass up Schmitz though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think. I hate to go offensive line twice in a row, but I think there's still a lot of wide receivers on this board. I think the offensive line is absolutely horrendous. I don't buy Aaron Brewer at center, so I'll take me John Michael Schmitz in the second round.
He is the pick. Jack Campbell goes directly after. Hendon Hooker to the Falcons.
I like that.
It's not a bad fit, honestly. Cody Mock to the Bucks. They just took a tackle last round.
BJ
Hyatt to the Chargers. Tillman to the Giants. Oh, man. Here's Whippler. Another receiver for the Texans.
Okay. So here,
third.
okay, so I meant to say this last round. So last round, I know we talked before this, we weren't gonna do any trades. I would have traded back there because there's a lot of picks I really, really liked that were still on the board. I probably would have went back, probably no more than like 8. I would have dropped, but I would have dropped at least 8 picked up like an extra 4th or something to have gone back a little bit. But
Yeah.
we've gone offensive line twice in a row. I don't think I can justify it a third time. Let's see what wide receivers are on the board.
Copy that.
I don't want a running back. Okay.
Marvin Mims out of Oklahoma.
I see who I want right there. I see 2 of them. Now it's just matters which one I want. So Tyler Scott, he's fast. He's very, very fast. I like Tyler Scott a lot. I also like Jonathan Mingo a lot. They're probably, I mean, this draft class is so deep that this doesn't even mean anything, but they're definitely top 10 guys in this draft, which actually does kind of say a lot because how stacked this receiver class is. If you don't mind, would you click on Scott? I don't want to draft him quite yet, but so Mike Vrabel, I cannot remember the man's name, but Scott is, or I'm sorry, the head coach for Cincinnati is like tight with Mike Vrabel. I know we always target Cincinnati guys, even though I don't think we've ever drafted a Cincinnati guy, at least in Vrabel's tenure. That
Yeah.
is something to keep an eye out for. Vrabel talked about how he wants to increase on the speed on this offense. Um, and he's that guy. I think he was the fastest 40, I believe, for wide receivers. Um,
I don't recall exactly, but I know
he
that it
was up
was
there.
fast.
Yeah, he was definitely up there. His
I mean,
actually numbers actually aren't really impressive for me, honestly, right here. Um, he has improved every single year though, in almost every single category, which
what's
is
jumping off to me is 55 receptions for 904 yards and 9 touchdowns.
that's incredible. Yeah, he finds the end zone.
Yeah. This
I
man,
like that a lot.
I've heard a lot about him on the radio. People really like him as a late round gold mine. So I
Yeah,
think a lot of people have a similar opinion on Tyler Scott.
Tennessee did bring him in. If you don't mind, cook on Mingo. Tyler Scott did come to Nashville on an official visit as well, so that's also worth keeping note of.
Okay. I
Um,
don't know that.
so
Uh,
Mingo is the guy. I think he's polished. I mean, his numbers aren't really going to jump off the board. He's never hit 1,000 yards. Yeah, 3, 3, and 5 for touchdowns. Um, I do like Mingo though. I feel like Ole Miss does turn out some wide receivers. Um,
yeah.
he's honestly exactly like AJ Brown when it comes to that, like the same size and frame. I'd like to know how fast he is. I don't really remember how quick he was. Um,
I don't
down
recall.
there by any chance?
Um, no.
I can look it up real fast.
Okay. Best games here against what? Vanderbilt?
I don't even know who that T is. Is that Tulane? What is that?
It might be Trevecca or something.
Okay, so he's a 4-4 guy, 4.46.
And
Um,
he's 6'1", so he's significant. He's a lot larger than Tyler Scott, and he's got
yeah.
good speed.
I think Tennessee needs a wide receiver here, and I think I am going to go with Mingo, third round pick.
Jonathan Mingo it is, the 22-year-old out of Ole Miss.
To
And the
to
Texans
Jonathan
take a third wide receiver.
I mean, you guys need it.
I turned the randomness and like value by position down, all randomness down, value by position all the way up. I guess. I guess that's a valid thing to do. 3 of your first 4 picks. Byron Young, the edge out of Tennessee, goes off the board.
Greg Freeland dropped. I mean, he was a guy that people and Shoemaker, they're both way up there. And both
Yeah.
those guys were, I mean, they're dark horse first round picks, especially Freeland. So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see him go end of the third.
Okay. I guess you guys don't have a 4th round pick.
We do, I thought.
It might be late, like a compensation round. Hold on, let me move us. 147, 186, and 228. So no 4th.
Okay.
Houston did take a defensive interior with their last pick, so at least they broke the cycle. Right, here we are on the clock at 147 in the 5th, and we've taken 2 offensive linemen, a center and a tackle, and a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, offensive line and wide receiver are literally the only 2 needs that PFF gives the Titans. So,
Yeah, I mean, I do like Keaton Mitchell here from East Carolina halfback. I don't know if I could justify taking him, this early. I mean, I know he's going to go around this time, but I don't know if Titans absolutely need a running back, unless they trade for Derrick Henry, which I'd be terribly
right.
afraid.
I
Would
would
you?
say
Okay.
this is the range for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who's been kind of shooting up some people's boards lately at quarterback out of UCLA.
How do you feel about him? I haven't really studied him at all.
I haven't studied him, but I've heard a lot of people say that he could be, probably the sleeper of all of the quarterbacks.
But
He's almost 23 and a half. He's a redshirt senior, a capable backup with developmental potential. Is what PFF talks about him.
he's done a
Intermediate
great.
grade.
Yeah, and
I'm
he's
sorry.
gotten better every year.
Well, he kind of took a dip last year, it looks like.
Well, at least from his stats. I mean, he threw 27 touchdowns. He did throw a little more picks, but he threw a lot more yardage and a lot more passes. A
Yeah,
hundred more actually.
yeah. Interesting.
Jinx.
Pressure grade, he's about medium. Intermediate grade, he's about medium. No pressure grade, he's a little under. Passing grade, he's a little under what you like. And deep grade is a little under what you like. He doesn't have that top end throw, like that deep ball. But oh, look at that average time to throw 2.8 seconds.
Which yeah, you better get used to that in the NFL.
Yeah, for real.
Which honestly, I
So,
like that stat. The fact that he's so low on that, that means the game speed in the NFL is not gonna be a huge adjustment for him. Whereas when you play at Ohio State or Alabama, you got all day to throw.
yeah.
I'd be curious to see where like Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud's number is on that one.
He's got a pretty good
They'll take
three-game stretch here against Colorado, Washington, and Utah. And then Arizona State is his best game on the year. But he turned out some solid performances against Pitt as well in the
The
bowl
Ohio,
game.
the USC game is a little worrisome. I don't know what the tape was there, but definitely not his best out. It was his worst game.
Oh, yeah. That probably accounts for some of that percentage, that time on there.
Could you go to cornerback?
Absolutely. Corner.
I know it's not high on the draft board, but I know Tennessee really needs one. Um,
All right.
Gardner, he's a guy that I've seen a little bit of.
Took a little bit of a dip after a decent 21 and 20.
Mm-hmm.
2 touchdowns allowed, no interceptions the last 2 years. A lot of coverage snaps. He allowed 24 receptions on 54 targets for 416 yards and 2 touchdowns. The
And he
average.
got torched against Tennessee.
I'm sorry?
He got torched against Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Coverage grade is a little above average. Run defense, he's pretty good in. Completion percentage, he's well above average, 54%. Coverage grade, a little above. They got it twice. What is anyway? Forced incompletions 7, dropped interceptions 0, coverage stops 5, missed tackles 5, average depth of target 12.8 yards.
No, not him. He's not coming to Tennessee.
Okay.
I don't really love any of these corners, at least not yet. Tennessee definitely needs a corner, but I wouldn't say yet.
Okay.
Honestly, let's double dip at wide receiver. Let's see what kind of wide receivers we got. If not, I'm leaning toward Keaton Mitchell, running back.
Jalen Moreno Cropper out of Fresno, Charlie Jones out of Purdue. I mean, I don't love these
I don't
names.
love any of these guys. Yeah, let's go Keaton Mitchell. I'll go running back here. Let's find someone that's fast that can spell Derrick Henry.
Okay.
Tennessee had a good history drafting running backs out of East Carolina, so let's do that.
Yeah. Well, he is the pick. We're kind of getting into a little bit of the underbelly here. We're not super familiar with all the names.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is the second one I've done like this. And there are some players that we were able to draft in the 7th round that had a lot of potential.
Yeah, I know who I want next pick. And it might sound like a stretch, but I know who I want.
Okay. All right.
I'll keep
Round
the suspense
6.
going until we get there. Unless I see him get drafted, which so far, no. Ooh, Eric Gray. I like that pick. I didn't know he's still on the board.
Stet the Jet.
No, I don't want Stetson. Maybe do drink with maybe, but that T was Troy, not Trebecca. Um,
Good guess.
here's my. Do you have any guess of what position I want?
Nope, not a guess. No, not a clue actually.
Let's go kicker.
What?
Titans don't have a kicker on the roster.
Really?
Yep,
Special teams.
Jake
Jake
Moody.
Moody.
Don't even need to click on him. Jake Moody. That's what I want.
Jake Moody out of Michigan is the selection, and the Titans officially have a kicker on the roster. I kind of wish I would have clicked on him, but Stet the Jet goes to L.A.
Which one?
The
Blake
Rams.
Rams.
Yeah, I forget. Bunch of defensive interior and edge players now for the Texans on their last several picks. The Jags go with a guard. And here we are in round 7.
A lot of you guys won't make the roster.
Yeah, a lot of them. And then maybe one of you might get a chance to play, like a Brock Purdy did. Okay.
All right. Let's see. I've drafted exclusively wide receiver or offense and now special team.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried going defense. However, a lot of the picks I just weren't in love with. Yeah, let's just look at the big board. I want to kind of see who's the best of it. Ooh, I like that pick.
Do you know?
I do know him. I also know Chris Rodriguez, and that's probably the closest to Derrick Henry in this draft, I believe. He's kind of slow, but that man can run through people. He'll keep going down a little bit.
Jake Bobo. I know this. Muhammad Ibrahim.
So I kind of want to go linebacker, but I really don't know any of these linebackers.
D. Winters out of TCU.
Ooh, a Chattanooga guy. Tennessee tends to go hometown every now and then.
Yeah. Isn't that where Brewer came from?
No, Corey Levin did.
Let's just.
Yeah, Tennessee has always had a UTC guy. We had Corey Levin. We had Buster Screen. There have been a few others too that have been UTC.
So this is all the linebackers left.
Yeah, see, at this point, I'm kind of looking for a big name or a big school guy. None of these guys really. I mean, I know. Here, click D Winters. Let's see him.
D Winters.
I mean, they had a good season.
They did.
Ooh, no, I don't want him. Yeah, that's bad. I'm sorry. I'm trusting PFF. All right, let's go. Let's go corner. Let's see what kind of defensive backs they got.
All right, we got Carrington Valentine out of Kentucky.
That's a SEC guy. Long name.
Yeah, he did get better his last year.
Led a lot of touchdowns, but I mean, it is SEC.
Yeah, and it was Kentucky who wasn't necessarily able to stop most people.
All right, I hate to deceive. I'm going to say no. Go back to the big board. I am going to go with need, and I'm going to go offensive line again. There's a lot of O linemen on there. Not him. Let's see. Actually, yeah, let's do Stromberg. I know we drafted a center, but boy, the Titans need help.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get a look at his height and stuff. 6'3", 306. You could play him at guard.
You could play him at guard.
And I know he's strong too. Jeff and I took him in the 7th round of the Colts draft, and they gave him an A. So, I guess they're pretty high on Stromberg here.
Yeah, I want him. No, we can go ahead and draft him.
Stromberg is the pick. At the very least, I feel like, the linemen that you drafted are going to either start or compete, and that's something that the Titans desperately needed.
And if they have the
Like,
injury bug like that last couple of years, we have depth, and
yeah,
Titans are in desperate need of it because now with the fact that I drafted 2 centers, we can kick out Levin um, as a backup guard somewhere. So I'm happy with that.
yeah. All right, last pick of the draft. We'll never know. I guess the Texans have Mr. Irrelevant this year.
Interesting.
Maybe
I
they
think it's an A draft. I love this draft actually. The only thing, my 5th round pick, I wasn't in love with it, but I think everywhere else I'm pretty happy with. Yep.
Yep.
Jake, yeah, that's fine. I expected an F on that one.
I mean, that's a solid draft.
I think so. I don't understand. I understand just drafting a kicker in the 6th round. However, man, he's our penciled in starter now. On a 4-year rookie deal. I'll take that all day.
A plus, Ricky Stromberg.
Yeah, my best pick. Yeah, Paris Johnson. Okay. I wish I would have got another receiver. Maybe I could have done that over Mitchell, but in the 5th round, I just didn't really know or like any of those receiver options.
Yeah.
This would be a time where, free agency would probably pick up at least one more. I know the Titans just signed Chris Moore, who's a solid depth piece, but this would give Mingo and Treylon Burks the 1 and 2, which still a lot to be desired, but it's I guess it's an upgrade from last year.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
huge
at least you feel a
upgrade.
little bit better about it going in, and it's not, 28-year-old dudes who are just kind of usually filling roster spots on other people's teams.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, all right. That kind of leaves the Titans still with an edge rusher hole. They didn't really address anybody to replace Dupree. Yeah.
Well, Arden Key is Dupree's replacement.
That's right. I forgot that he came in.
We still have Rashawn Weaver, so we do have a solid backup with Harold Landry's going to be back. So we would just be looking for depth at edge rusher. So I wouldn't say it's a huge need. That's why I was okay passing on Ojolari in the 2nd for Schmitz. I would have loved to have had an edge rusher, but edge rusher is kind of hard. I feel like that's kind of like quarterback, where you kind of have to get them early or you just miss out.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to find a good edge rusher, in the 5th, 6th round. It's just
very true.
It's not possible, but it is hard to find.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that leaves some linebacker holes for sure.
Yeah, definitely a middle linebacker. There's definitely a hole at middle linebacker.
So is there anybody in free agency that could possibly be the target after that?
Yeah, let me pull up this list real fast. Will Compton, he's available.
Yeah.
No, the Titans did sign Neiman, Ben Neiman from Kansas City, but I don't love him.
He's a predominantly special teams guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. One name actually really sticks out to me. Not great in run defense, but pass defense. 28-year-old free agent out of Las Vegas, Jayon Brown. A reunion in Tennessee, potentially. I didn't know he was a free agent. Middle linebackers, actually, there's a lot I really like, actually. So I'm actually kind of glad I didn't pick one. Deion Jones, Miles Jack, Kyle Van Noy. Kyle Van Noy, he's old, but it seems like he's productive every single year. Yeah. Out of all of those, I think I want Jayon back. His injuries do scare me, but Kyle Van Noy is another one. Regardless, whoever you pick at this time in free agency, they're just plug and play kind of dudes. I'm not gonna build around Jayon Brown or Kyle Van Noy, but I want one of those at middle linebacker for sure. Okay. Another big need is wide receiver. I'm gonna pull up wideouts.
You took one, right?
I did take one, but I'm still I don't love Mingo and Burks.
Okay, so you're looking. Well, you got Phillips coming back off injury.
I don't care about Phillips.
Moved on already.
Not even moved on. It's just I didn't see anything out of him last year that these wide receivers and free agents aren't very good either. None of them are really sticking out.
Yeah. Usually skill positions like that are picked bone dry by this time.
Just some old dudes like a Randall Cobb. We talked about Randall Cobb last week. Honestly, I wouldn't mind throwing a bone to Kenny DeGalladay. I'd give him, a 1-year, $3 million deal. But Titans one speed. I think Byron Pringle is probably the best one. Um, Again, I don't love any of these dudes. I'd probably, I'd take a Byron Pringle or a Kenny Galladay. None of these are really. Actually, no. I'm taking T.Y. Hilton probably.
Damn.
That's how bone dry the wide receiver class is right now.
Okay. So that leaves us with the quarterback position. That is obviously Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis.
Yeah.
And a third person yet to be named that'll probably be brought in to make Malik compete.
So I can tell you that right now. So Tennessee, we always have two wide receivers. Since Vrabel's been here, even when J. Rob was here, we only carried two wide receivers. However, we always do bring in a third one.
Do you mean QB?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I say wide receiver?
Yeah, twice actually.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Quarterback.
You're fine.
So Titans always bring in two quarterbacks every single year, but they do bring in one extra one as a camp body, and I can tell you which one right now they're going to sign, and it's going to be Trevor Siemian.
Interesting.
We've brought in Trevor Siemian a couple times, camp body, preseason kind of dude. I guarantee we'll bring him in. If not, we'll probably just sign some undrafted free agent, but which that could be like Max Duggan. I don't know if he got drafted in our mock draft, but if he did, it was probably pretty late.
Yeah.
So I could see Duggan or somebody like that, but I fully expect, unless something drastic happens, which I mean, it's the NFL, you never know. I fully expect Tannehill's QB1, and I fully expect Malik Willis' QB2.
Okay. All right. The tight end room is basically Chig Okonkwo, and that's it at the moment.
We did sign somebody. I can't remember his name. I vaguely knew his name. I can't remember it right now, but I think he came from the Eagles and people liked him. I have the tight ends pulled up now, but regardless, Tennessee does need another one. I can tell you right now, the second name is a no-go. That's going to be Jeff Swaim. I actually like a lot of these guys. I really like Cameron Brate. Dan Arnold's a free agent. Shout out Jacksonville. And somebody way down the list who I could potentially see would be a reunion, Anthony Ferguson. I know he did in Tennessee on kind of bad terms. He didn't really catch on in Atlanta, but he was a good pass catcher. His issue was run blocking. I know Tennessee's probably going to want a run blocker. I believe Dan Arnold, I could be wrong, but I believe Dan Arnold can run block okay. I can't really remember.
I remember Dan Arnold being more of a
pass catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what Tennessee is going to want to do. I mean, I know all we care about is the run, but it's not been working. So I don't know if they want two pass catching tight ends out there. Why not? Out of that list, though, I think I probably want Dan Arnold.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Dan Arnold. Kyle Rudolph's there. That's kind of intriguing. He's very old, but it's Chigo Okonkwo. He's TE1 right now. So whoever it is going to spell him. But we do have the other guy. I can't remember his name for life of me.
Kyle Rudolph's rookie card, rookie auto. It's not worth anything because Kyle Rudolph isn't a Hall of Famer, but I have it. Okay. Well, I think that kind of gets us to the end of the pod here. So, Blake, thank you for your time and your access to your brain. And, so also thank you guys for watching. Go ahead, hit the like and subscribe button. We're trying to grow. Got a 10 like goal on this episode. We're also at 332 subscribers at the time of this recording. We're trying to grow on that number too. If you could help us by hitting that and the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Be good people, y'all.